Okay, so we start. So welcome back to the room. Good morning for the second day of the cluster Meet Regions in Milan. It was a very, very busy day yesterday, and we will also have a very busy morning today. Without further delay, I will quickly present you what we will have. So we will start with a panel discussion on smart communities and the citizens' perspective on sustainability. After that, very, very dynamic pitching session. Yesterday we will be hearing a pitching from the startups, and today we are having a pitching session from cluster representatives. We will hear around 12 pitches. There would be very limited time, very busy, so be ready to take some notes, as those that will be presenting will tell us what they are looking for and what they offer. And then we have another panel discussion, closing remarks, networking lunch, and site visits. So this is what we have planned for today, and I'm giving the floor to Paolo for further.
Thank you. Teodoro, okay, thank you. The first panel, as you see in the agenda, will be dedicated to the smart communities and the citizens' perspective on sustainability. The first bad news is that Laila Pavone, unfortunately for health problems, she will not be with us. And the idea to add one more dimension to our discussion, you see we have the governance, we have the industry, we have the research, and we have also the fourth dimension will be the civil society, the citizens, because the citizen is not only a part of the society that can help any organization to organize the twin transition, the digital and the sustainability transition, but because they can be a source of data, we are all geolocalized, we have sensor on our phone and so on, so we are a source of data. So it's very important for sustainability to know not only as a user and buyer, but also as people moving around the area. We can be a source of data for any organization that is trying to get the sustainability transformation a reality in our life. So the first panel will be moderated by Raffaello Prugger, General Director of Tecnoalimenti. Raffaello, please take the stage. And we will have 4 relators. Now Raffaello will introduce
Okay, thank you. Good morning to everybody. Thank you for inviting me to moderate this panel. I will call to the floor the following people who will then do the discussion. First of all, I would like to invite here on the floor Pierluigi Petrali, Director of Digital Innovation Hub Lombardia. Thank you. Please take your seat. Then, unfortunately, Laila Pavone is not with us, so we have to skip her. Massimiliano Brigonzi. Okay, thank you so much. Director of the Research Unit of Mind the Bridge. Then we have Beatrice Diano, Project Manager of Valore Italia. Thank you so much. Please take your seat. And then Susi Longoni, Head of International Projects at the Research Center Innov Hub SSI. Okay, thank you very much. So, let me now start with some setting and with fueling this panel with some points. And then I would like to pass the floor to the people of the panel and ask them to introduce themselves and your affiliation, and to give then your comment on the state of sustainability. Now, I originally am a forest economist, so I have been long time in touch with sustainability. In particular, soon after I entered Tecnoalimenti, I participated to the World Conference of Ecological Economics in Costa Rica. It was in 1994, so this is 30 years ago. And this was a group of counter-trends at that time, economists and ecologists and physicists and chemists and scientists, largely snubbed by the mainstream disciplines, as you can imagine, 30 years ago. And the issues were how to define sustainability, because it was at that time, it was not clear the definition of sustainability. And also how to bring this sustainability around in the different disciplines and in different sectors. And the terminology was also very different. We didn't speak about circular economy, but we spoke about natural capital, we spoke about ecosphere, technosphere, geosphere, and how these spheres interact. This was at that time the discussion. And after 30 years, we are here today, and not only here, and you can see that sustainability is very well accepted in all levels of the society, policymakers, industry, and public opinion. Even too much sometimes, because sometimes it's also used improperly, or a little bit became a buzzword even with some misperceptions anyway. So as you see, there was a huge evolution in 30 years, one generation. It took one generation to bring down to the ground this concept. The similar issue happened also in the consumers, and now I come to the point. In the 90s, the consumers and the citizens, sorry, I often say consumers, but you can call them users, citizens, consumers, clients, anyway, the public opinion at this point consider the sustainability as a community issue, a concern of the community, if you think. Think about the fact of the separate the home waste disposal, for instance. The citizens complied with regulations that came top down. Nowadays, after 30 years, changed, and now I come to the point, changed very much. In the sense that after 30 years, the new generations, Millennium and Z generation, they have a different point of view. They already incorporated sustainability in their lifestyles. I have 3 sons from 25 to 30 years of age. They prefer fixing, repairing, and borrowing the things instead of purchasing. And how are they doing this? They do this with apps, with the digital, with the networks, digital networks, applications. So the digital is of key importance to make this step. So I would say now sustainability almost comes from bottom-up trend. So it's different than before. This is at least my interpretation of this evolution. So these terms and the concept, the perception of the consumer evolve over time. And now I would like to pass the word and to see if also in new fields, we have here so much different fields. We have the fields of venture capital, the field of industry, the field of cultural heritage, and the field of research. So very, very diverse. And to see how sustainability is incorporated somehow or is transmitted in their field, in their reality towards the consumer, and if there is actually also they noticed this generation gap. If there is a difference in generations from the point of the perception of the consumer. So at this point, I would pass the words to the first panelist, which is, I will say, let's start from industry. Pierluigi Petrali, the director of DIH, but you worked for a long time in the manufacturing of home appliances. And what is your point about the evolution of the citizen's perspective and about the sustainability?
Yes, thank you, Raffaello. Maybe first of all, let me introduce my organization. Digital Innovation Hub Lombardia is part of the network of the Digital Innovation Hub created by Italian Industrial Association. Our main task is to help enterprises, especially small and medium companies, in their first step toward digitalization. How we do it? First, using an assessment, so we are able to measure how much the company has understood about digitalization, how much has introduced a new technology, how much has digitized the process, and so on. So my perspective is the one that is coming out beside the 30 years that I spent in the previous company on what is the perception of companies on the theme of sustainability. You know, entrepreneurs are also citizens, so somehow they have this point of view. I will start from what Tullio Toglio told yesterday. If the choice of a citizen, a normal person, about sustainability could be limited to some perception, to some decision about behavior, about choices. The entrepreneurs, the companies have actually to deal it in the 3 dimensions that Tullio was suggesting to us yesterday. So they need and they must deal with resources to use them in the most efficient possible way. They have to do with economics. We cannot foresight a company which is perfectly doing their homeworks in terms of sustainability and then it goes to bankrupt in 2 years. I mean, it's not that the scope. And also with society. I usually use this term for companies. It is longevity. If a company can make choice in keeping all these 3 dimensions in the right equilibrium, this means that company is able to be viable for a long time. What is the problem? Is that making choices, making sure that economics, the impact on society, and the use of resources are good choices, we need to move from a sentiment, a feelings of perception to a confidence. So we cannot rely anymore on the fact that, yes, sustainability is there, I need to do something ecologically because somebody is telling me or because there is a fashion way of thinking. We need to move from this to confidence in data and numbers. In other words, by stealing some of the thoughts of Daniel Kahneman, the famous psychologist, we need to move all our decisions from system 1, so irrational gut feeling, to system 2, data, proofs, and so on. That's not easy, of course, because it requires a little more organization in data. It requires models. It requires organized data. Is it doable? I think absolutely yes. We have a strong proof. In 1972, a group of people were called Club of Rome, driven by some MIT professor, delivered a document which is still relevant today. I don't know whether you remember or not the limit of growth. That team used system dynamics, they used models and data to predict somehow what is going to happen in 5 years. And it's dramatically true what they will predict. So the ways to build models, to use data, to assist and to drive, let's say, choices are there. The point is that we need to move, and not only enterprises, not only entrepreneurs, also all the people should move from perception, feeling, to fact and data. Of course, we need to reopen the books of physics. We need to understand exactly thermodynamics. We need to know, and to stay on that. Forget about what the general word is saying, and evaluate every position, every economical, every political decision in that perspective. I think this is something that we need to move, and also the citizen, we should require citizens to acquire this kind of mentality. So forget perception, move to confidence on data.
Now, thank you very much. This is very interesting, this fact-based perception of, or at least data that are then need to be to run the field and run also the citizen perception. I would like now to continue on the field of industry, or somehow of innovation, and ask to Massimiliano Brigonzi. You have a wide experience in the National Open Innovation Advisory Firm to public and private. So which are the key points that you see that facilitate the success of the transition? And maybe you have also some examples in your activity to illustrate us. Please. Now you have to push in the middle.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you, Raffaello, for the kind introduction. Quick words about Mind the Bridge. Mind the Bridge is a global open innovation service platform that is based in Silicon Valley, Italy, Barcelona, Tel Aviv, South Korea, and New York. What we do is bridging the world of corporates, startups, venture capital, and ecosystems, innovation ecosystem, startup ecosystem worldwide, leveraging a local approach. In our experience, well, first of all, I recall what you mentioned, Raffaello, the problem of defining sustainability, which has been increasingly structured, and we went from clean tech, green tech, to climate tech, to a plethora of definitions, whereas what we want to do is basically having a resource-efficient society and a net zero economy. That's the main aim. But the problem of defining KPIs and impact is well perceived in all the scope of the innovation ecosystems worldwide. And we want to bring the experience of the ecosystem approach, where basically you have a push and pull, a bottom-up and top-down methodology mixed together into something that fits the needs of the ecological transition, the green transition, and also can be implemented fast and effectively with accurate metrics to be measured and evaluated to adapt step by step. In our experience, we consider that a good ecosystem has talent, the corporate world, the entrepreneurship world, and ecosystem partners that facilitate everything. That's the top-down approach. The institutions, the municipalities, the regional clusters, and so on. And in our experience, we did something that was pretty interesting with the municipality of Ravenna. It's called Aura Project that has put together ENI, the energy company, the Italian energy company, educational program for students of the University of Bologna, and the municipality of Ravenna as a cluster itself and a facilitator, as an innovation platform, and all together pierced into connecting the dots between the new generation that, as Raffaello mentioned, is much more aware of sustainability, has a different approach, and can reverse mentor the older generation on these needs and these future approaches. And the old generation, let's say the Generation Xers or the Boomers, without any problem, we can say older generation teaches about doing business, doing entrepreneurship, doing innovation, and putting together these pieces of the puzzle brings upscales the skills of both, especially because it supports the young generation to understand how to produce innovation and how to do business, and helps the corporate in defining the challenges and the needs of open innovation, much more in this case related to sustainability, in the new context of sustainable open innovation, which is an entirely new trend. And I must say that a recent research that we launched a few months ago exposed that 30% of the Fortune 500 now encompass in their metrics and KPIs to measure how open innovation works this sustainability factor, which was not true 2 years ago. So you mix and match all of this together. The role of the municipality is to facilitate this thing, everything, with creating a platform of services and also digital services that helps build connections between these corporates, the entrepreneurial ecosystem, and startups based on challenges in the form of what we call venture clienting, which is basically a model for fast prototyping of solutions, implementation of proof of concepts faster through a fast track in the corporate, and then jumpstart long-term collaboration much more effectively than usual. This is a tried and proven process that effectively works, and that are best practices. The municipality can also add another step, that is internationalization, because the local approach pure local approach does not work anymore. You need to connect in a big network because, again, another research that we analyzed very recently, the major ecosystem in the world are 12. Silicon Valley, New York, London, Beijing, Shenzhen, Tokyo, and a few others, period. These are the biggest one, the one that produce a number of scale-up about 500 per year, which is very different even from Milan, produces like 30 or 50 per year, one order of magnitude of difference. So you really have to connect your local ecosystem with the biggest ecosystem in the world, drive challenges, create a push-pull approach between the networks, and there are projects about this, and then I conclude, for like the Regional Innovation Valley at European level, so I believe that we are on a good track. The problem is that we cannot wait because the world is not waiting for us. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. That was very interesting. Also, you highlighted the importance of the systems and the importance of connections and the fact of creating links between geographical and also between generations and so on. So this is very important to know. Yeah, thank you so much. Now I would like to pass to the Beatrice Diano. The cultural heritage and art is a sector of key importance in Lombardy, but also in other regions of Europe. So how does this sector cope with sustainability and convey also the sustainability contents towards the users, maybe also using digitalization and so on? So please, let us know. Thank you.
Thank you, Raffaello. Good morning, everyone. I'm here today representing Valor Italia. Valor Italia is an international research and training center for the enhancement, valorization, and restoration of cultural heritage. Since 2022, we have acquired the Botticino School of Restoration, one of the oldest Italy school of restoration. And in 2022, we decided to move the school from Botticino near Brescia to Milano, in particular to mine, Milan Innovation District. So I'm here today to bring our experience and knowledge about the field of conservation, valorization, and restoration of cultural heritage in a sustainable way. In today's world, the concept of sustainability has reached also the cultural field. However, methodological coherence and operational competence required for the application of sustainable principles in conservation activities and also in restoration activities have been applied only in recent years. So this development is a part of a collective reflection that involved also the civil society, the scientific communities, and industry professionals. If we consider cultural heritage as a part of the environment, and the Italian Code of Cultural Heritage and the Landscape seals this interdependence, cultural heritage has an inseparable connection with its surrounding context. And so environmental sustainability and consequent environmental protection not only preserve natural resources, but also protect and mitigate the damage and degradation of artistic cultural heritage by factors, for example, such as air pollution or climate instability. Restoration practice is a part of a more complex process involving also the activities of conservation, the safeguarding of the environment and the surrounding context, as I said before. And in recent years has developed new technologies and methodological approaches capable of meeting sustainability requirements. Particular in the production sector with the introduction of green products or sustainability products such as bacteria or enzymes or natural oils or seaweeds also. For example, in the recent restoration of Altare della Patria in Rome, natural oils of rosemary and thyme were used, following the principles of biorestoration. I can also see the growing importance of these principles in the many calls for ideas to these needs, which leads me to believe that these principles are spreading among the practitioners, but little by little reaching a wider audience. Another factor that contributes to the sustainability approach is the use and the introduction of new technologies for planned and preventive conservation of cultural heritage, because with new technology we exactly know when interventions are needed. And so we avoid larger or more expensive and delayed interventions, and consequently we can optimize economic resources and minimize environmental impact. For example, we have special scanners that analyze the condition of the artifacts layer by layer, capturing information, and then with the data are combined with special software that use artificial intelligence to simulate the appearance of the artifacts as it ages, so can then suggest appropriate treatments to conservators to protect the artifacts before their condition worsen, or to minimize existing damages and maintain the current state. So at the end, we believe that the core to ensuring lasting cultural sustainability lies in increasing public awareness of the protection and the preservation of our heritage, using, for example, the new technology to simulate and demonstrate the effect of poor heritage protection, and how a concrete commitment to its preservation and the promotion of sustainability can generate tangible benefits in the long run. In addition to this, we believe that to live in a sustainability environment is important to develop sustainability habits, and this project was fundamental in our decision to move the school in Mind, because Mind, Milan Innovation District, is an urban hub designed to shape the city of the future, where collective well-being and sustainability and social inclusion are the fundamental pillars of urban design. And so we noticed that at the beginning our students were skeptical about this environment, far from the urban bustle, but little by little they started to appreciate the possibility to stay in a sustainable place, in a traffic-free area, by adopting environmentally friendly means of transportation.
Thank you. Interesting, very interesting also, and how much also in unexpected fields that twin transition already entered and already is determining the evolution and the involvement of the consumers. So I would really say that already the twin transition is already very much established in our societies. This is also understanding also from the previous comments. And now we arrive to the field of research, which is where I'm more familiar with. And Susie, you are in touch with many scientists and researchers worldwide. How is it that in scientific research the sustainability and the twin transition is incorporated? Can you elaborate a bit your experience in this? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Raffaello. Good morning, everyone. Yes, I work for Innovab, Stazioni Sperimentali per l'Industria, which is a research center with national competence based in Italy. We deliver tests, analysis, applied research to companies and stakeholders in different, very impacting industrial fields. We work around three main competence centers, which are food, industrial processes, and environmental sustainability. I deal with international projects, mostly research actions, innovation actions financed by Horizon Europe. And I can say that I have the chance to liaise daily with technical people and scientists, bringing forward ideas and monitoring new technological and research trends. So my view is pretty much, let's say, privileged over a number of very impacting sectors. In fact, we work with specifically fuels, biofuels, and non-bio, so fossil fuels. We work with chemicals, textiles, and packaging, paper materials, and other sectors, of course, but just to mention the most impacting ones, and the sectors where the role of citizens and communities and smart communities is more and more important, is fundamental, I would say. We see, for instance, when we work on mobility projects, smart mobility projects, how the push-pull approach is important. However, a bottom-up approach is not enough. We want people to buy electric cars. We want people, if we consider energy, to implement smart grid. So we want a private effort towards sustainability, green sustainability. However, technologies are still very expensive. So without a public initiative, public support and fundings, the efforts will not be enough. The push towards climate change is strong, but again, it's not enough. If we consider another very impacting sector, the packaging sector, now with e-commerce, packaging products are everywhere and impact a lot. The transition is towards a world with less plastic usage, so plastic pollution, microplastics impacts, etc. How do we do that? Of course, there are many research projects dealing with new materials. So to replace plastics, we can use paper, we can use combined materials, we can implement eco-design practices, etc. But the most practical and feasible way is still, as Raffaello was rightly saying, the reuse. So we are carrying out different studies on public and private perception of reuse policies when talking about food packaging, for instance, packaging tout court. The approach is positive, but again, this reuse approach must be supported through different policies and practices impacting on the entire value chain. Another very impacting sector is, as you all know, is textiles, where citizens again and consumers are the key factor. Research-wise, we are focusing on technological recycling practices, both chemical and mostly mechanical. But again, reuse is still the most feasible way. Recycling technologies are still very, very expensive. So again, we need fundings, we need public support to learn how we can study new solutions which are not so expensive and which can be implemented in an easier way. Here again, the eco-design practices are fundamental, and also I would say, rightly, the approach of the European Commission and of the institutions and of the entire value chain in textile sector towards an extended producer responsibility situation, which is most suggested in every field. Recycling of batteries, electric materials, everywhere. But in textile sector, the challenge is very, very, very high. Again, I'm thinking about agri-food practices. Food sector is in strong and urgent need of transition, of a green transition. We are lagging behind in Italy or everywhere. We all know the pillars: waste of food, waste of resources, logistics, which is not functional. So how we do facilitate this transition? Research-wise, we must work on less impacting agri-food practices, for certain, and again we need institutional support here, but also on standardization of local norms. To implement a local sustainable model, even national sustainable model is not enough. We definitely need an international approach. We see that UN is going towards this direction with, again, with the attempt to standardize and to harmonize technical norms. We are following, for instance, Innovab works a lot with standardization practices. So this is definitely a tool that we can use to overcome commercial barriers, to facilitate the green transition. Also, thinking of the living lab approach, which is quite new, and it's a new trend, but it's very interesting because it's involving very much the communities and the citizens. For instance, we are working on a project dealing with the quality of soil, so to improve quality of soil. So this is going to involve research, industrial community, but also citizens, universities. Also to inform, sensibilize, forward these concepts to the citizens. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Susie. Very interesting also because it touches the field of the food, which is actually a field where I'm working in since many years. Okay, so I think we arrived to the end. Very interesting, all the contributions which are underlying this wide-reaching influence of the twin transition and of the sustainability in the different fields, and also the need of the active participation of the public sector. This emerged somehow in all your contribution in order to bring ahead and fasten this process. Okay, so thank you, Pierluigi, Max, Beatrice, and Susie. Thank you so much. And thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for the moderation, as well as all the participants of this first discussion. And now we are approaching the pitching session. I will be calling all the participants. Please respect the time. We have agreed to have 3 minutes, so even if you have more slides that it has been suggested, make sure that you're watching the time, because I will be watching, and unfortunately should stop you at some point, as we are about to hear 14 presentations. So now I would like to welcome on the floor Enrico Venturini to present the first pitch. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Enrico Venturini. I come from Tuscany region. Prato is a very important textile manufacturing area, and I'm here to represent Tuscany Fashion Cluster. Yes, the cluster accounts for 120 members, more or less, especially SMEs in the textile value chain, so from spinning to weaving and clothing. But we also count members in the machinery textile production, because Prato is also offering textile technologies all over the world. So we work mainly in technology transfer, because our origin, our roots are in an R&D center, which is Next Technology Tecnotessile, that develop technological solutions for textile sector and related also other sectors that work with textile manufacturing. So we have quite a good cross-sectoral approach. So we also support technologies, internationalization and capacity building. So our strengths are mainly lying in the know-how that we have in the different phases of the value chain of textile sector. We also can account on a testing lab, and also we have a workshop where we are able in the R&D center to design and build prototypes. So this is a very good advantage because any SME, even if they're not cluster members, we try to involve them into our network, into our association, and work with them to develop technological solutions by setting up prototypes. Also at pre-industrial level, so also at large scales. Nowadays, we are working a lot in the circular economy field, of course. Textile sector is under the lens, as you know, of the institutions in Brussels and also in the member countries in order to be more circular and more sustainable. So we are proposing and we are trying to push into the companies uptake of technologies that can really facilitate the reuse and recycling of end-of-life products of textile sector. But of course, we also work for cross-sector collaboration, capacity building and networking, and last but not least, internationalization. So we are bringing our SMEs to the main trade shows and other events or R&D centers, so competence centers that are placed outside of Europe. I think my 3 minutes are gone, right? Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I just here want to say that all presentations again from the pitching session will be uploaded on the European Cluster Collaboration platform, so you can download and have the contacts as well as the summaries of these presentations. So next I would like to ask Paolo Dondo to join me on the floor. Thank you.
Paolo Dondo, I'm from MESAP Innovation Cluster that is based in Piedmont. We are part of the regional cluster system, Sistema Poli, made of 7 clusters. Today there will be other presentations from other clusters in Piedmont. So, okay, sorry, just, okay, this one, okay, okay. So this is in a nutshell, we have a strong mechatronic background. So we have about 230 members, and most of them are SMEs, as you may see, more than 190, 15 different industrial sectors in our cluster. Main 3 are automotive, manufacturing machines for production, and aerospace. We are part also of the national cluster for the smart factory and national cluster for transport. We represent the Piedmont region. As you may see, 4 different part of the value chain, let's say, so enterprises that are part of the research and development and the engineering activities until prototyping and testing, virtual and physical prototyping and testing, production of component system, production and assembly of mainly B2B, but also few B2C, and also value-added services on product and processes, mainly based on digital technologies, on IoT and other technologies. What we offer activities that are running, mainly a European project with cascading funds for SMEs, we are interested in participation in cluster networking events, in open innovation activities for SMEs, and also networking for our companies, could be networking for their involvement in European projects or European funded activities, and dissemination of research findings. What we are looking for as a mirror, we are looking for research and innovation projects, including cascading funds for SMEs. That is one of our interests. a startup and SMEs willing to participate to open innovation activities that we are currently running for our SMEs. So let's say the intake part, and also networking with other company organization for in collaboration in product process development. We manage regional funds for innovation, but also there are private initiatives for going to the market for industrialization of products and processes, and this is also one of main interest. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Paolo. And the third presentation will be from the Emilio Rocosada. Thank you. Or is yours?
Okay, so this is this one?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity of being here and trying to present our cluster. Grazie a tutti per l'opportunità di essere qua e presentare da voi questo cluster. My name is Emilio Rulquesada. As you can see, I'm the representative of a cluster on tech innovation in Poland and Baltic States, and that's why I'm here in Italy. Anyway, I'm going to explain that a little bit later. Our cluster is an IT and a biotechnology cluster from the south of Spain. We are based on Granada, probably you know that city in the south of Spain, and mostly of our members are SMEs that are from the south, from Granada, Malaga, Seville, but we have many members as well from Madrid, Barcelona, Zaragoza, Santander, other parts of Spain. Actually, right now we are a regional cluster. We have more than 750 members. It's a wide, really big cluster. We are collaborating with exactly 23 knowledge transfer, we can say universities, all the universities from the south of Spain. We collaborate with them. We are very active. We are working from 2013, but we are officially named as a Spanish cluster, attending to our law as a cluster from 2016. We are taking part of 2 digital innovation hubs in the southwest of Spain, in the region of Andalusia. One of those is an European digital innovation hub, as well. And we have, this is something a little bit different to other clusters. We have a net of ambassadors or representatives in other countries. We have 22. I'm one of those. I'm from Granada, but I live in 20 years in Warsaw, and I'm representing them and all those companies in Poland and Baltic states. Those ambassadors are people that are actually or from Spain that are living abroad, or they have their businesses abroad and they want to help somehow to the cluster, or foreign people that were living or in Granada, Malaga, or they had their businesses there and they are at the same time opening their own markets to our company. They are actually part of our ecosystem. We are very, very active in national projects, national Spanish projects. Actually, from the year 2022, we got something like 5.5 million and a little bit more last year. And we are trying to be more active in international European projects. I'm actually in charge of that part of a cluster, and that's why I'm here trying to get contacts. And if you are interested, of course, I'm here very open to collaborate. We already have 7 projects at the European level. And, what we are looking for is what I've already told you. We are looking for other potential institution or cluster potential partners in a consortia in order to get to European projects. But we are still open for our members to get contacts at B2B level. So if you find any kind of possibility, I'm here and open for that. And that's my contact. So I'm here to for any kind of possibility of business. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And so now I would like to welcome on the floor Ionat Basila. Just to tell you that the order we've chosen is on the order of receiving the presentation. So we're trying to find out what's the best way, either alphabetical or mixture between countries. So we found that this is the best way. So Janet, the floor is yours.
Buongiorno, parlo tante lingue, ma questa in inglese è un po' difficile per me, ma si capisce, mi lancio. Sono da Bucarest, abbiamo questo... Scusa? Dove c'è? Mi aiuti un po'? Is disappear?
If we can,
Anyway, first of all, I don't know exactly how much do you know about Romania. We are the first place in mathematics in Europe. We are the fourth in the world. We are the first place in informatics too. And I want to sell our Romanian brains here. We have these 2 centers for social innovation in Bucharest. We had a health innovation hub dealing with rare disease and genetics. We have 2 business incubators and accelerators, 120 SMEs and startups from creative industry and 12 NGOs from variety fields. I want to promote, sorry. No, something happened. Don't want. Okay. The next slide, okay. I want to promote free from our winner in the informatic contest. We have a blockchain dealing with health. We have SkillSwift is a Duolingo for large sales teams, and we have a big solution, a huge one regarding the construction. The first one is working with the AFIL-Associazione and KIF1A Association Neurological Disorder for genetics. Most of the things are made with AE, and we have the world's first blockchain-based virtual health. It's very interesting. I don't want to talk about this because it's a huge project. The second one is most for our young persons for WhatsApp, dealing with be precise and be more, it's very interesting. That's the second one. And the third one is regard the construction. Next slide, please. We search here partners to make I don't know, this kind of projects. If you are interested in our job, we develop a huge project based in Bucharest. Is the biggest and largest business incubator. Have 27,000 square meter with our city hall from free sector. We will want you all to see this in Romania. Thank you very much for all.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask, please, when using the pointer, just press the green, just only the green button. Or alternatively, the colleagues could also support going to the next slide. So now we will hear the Lino Olivastri. Lino? Yes. Or I can give you this mic if it's easier. Yes.
Sorry for my bad English. Good morning, everyone. I thank the organization of this event, and in particular, Paolo Vercesi and Teodora Gilkova for the opportunity granted. I'm the president of the outside consortium established in Pescara, Abruzzo. Due to industrial intensity, Abruzzo is one of the main manufacturing regions in Europe. The production system is seventh in Italy for industrial specialization, seventh for incidence of export on gross domestic product, 8.7 billion, of which 50% linked to the automotive sector. Abruzzo is a region capable of combining great industrial records with the presence of 3 national parks and 38 nature reserves. ABICIDE's mission is to enable continuous and sustainable innovation. The partners are Confindustria, Industrial Association, Abruzzo Medio Adriatico, University of L'Aquila, Gabriele D'Annunzio University Chieti Pescara, University of Teramo, Federmanager Abruzzo and Molise, Chamber of Commerce Chieti Pescara, all partners make their research facilities, laboratories, and skills available. We offer orientation services for business and public administration, support for development of projects for the digital transition 5.0, training and skill development, networking activities, evaluation of the business model, access to funding for research and development, management of intellectual property, open innovation facilitators. We look for collaboration on digital transition project, a change of best practice for innovative solution, a partnership on European projects. Contact us. We can build a sustainable and resilient future together. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Lino. So now I would like to welcome on the floor Sotiris Bouzeas.
Good morning to all. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present our meta cluster, which started in Canada in 2017 and ended up spanning more than 7 countries in Europe and MENA and now in Ukraine. We're a project-driven association. We're looking forward to liaison with you and basically promote cross-regional and cross-cluster collaboration. We're focusing in Ukraine due to the Ukrainian war and the influx of Ukrainian engineers and companies that would like to develop projects with European partners in Europe and elsewhere. We're focusing mostly now in R&D and dual technology. We're very much interested in the Italian aerospace sector and especially cybersecurity AI that is going to be very important in the aviation industry in the next 7 years. Shipbuilding, where Greece is one of the top nations in the world in this industry, and as well advanced manufacturing. We are looking forward to meet Italian partners and other EU partners that are interested to develop projects in Greece, Cyprus, and Ukraine. What we offer facilitation, funding, B2B services, B2G services, especially with the pre-mentioned governments, JVs, and partnerships between clusters. We have a sea, air, land approach. Basically, the East Med and Southeast Europe, which is Italy, Greece, Cyprus, and Malta, it's an untouched market for aerospace. There's a big void in this kind of technologies, and I'm certain that the Italian clusters and partners will be able to find lots of opportunities to co-develop projects there. So I'm going to leave you with that and possibly maybe even have a question. I hope I did it within 3 minutes. We're based in the region of Peloponnese in Greece, which is one of the poorest regions of Europe, actually. The region of Peloponnese has only 2.5% of the GDP of Greece, and it's an area that's open to your expertise and know-how in order to develop what you did here in Lombardia. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We've been talking yesterday. It would be great to have cluster meet regions in Greece, so we have to continue working in that direction jointly. So now I would like to welcome on the floor Riccardo Loboe.
Thank you. I'm Riccardo Loboe, coordinator of Cluster Smart City and Communities in Lombardia. Our clusters promote research and development in the smart city field in Lombardy. In our clusters there are 8 members, among big companies, small and medium enterprises, startup, university and research center. Our main sector are ICT, AI, IoT, water management, smart building, e-government, smart energy, smart mobility and telemedicine. Like other clusters, our service are policy addressing, collaborative project, access to funding, networking, internationalization. At the moment, Cluster Smart Cities is working on the project Ambitious. It's an European project funded by the AI-Free program that aims to improve companies' expertise in data analysis, AI, 5G and IoT, and to promote interregional collaboration and commercialization. Cluster is focusing on the Agora pillar. Agora aims to develop a platform facilitating and standardize and secure sharing data of among telemedicine applications developed by various small and medium enterprises. This approach enables the development of new services by making data available. Italian teams is developing 2 projects. In particular, the first one is a telemedicine platform to continuous remote monitoring and patient support, and the second is an app for the pediatric cardiac arrest support management. At the moment, we are seeking clinics, hospitals, nursing homes, and other types of health and care facilities interested in the testing the platform and app and sharing the usage data with our partners. In the last slide, you can find my contact for further information. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for also being well in time. So now please join me in welcoming on the floor Valentina Andro. Valentina, thank you. Which one? Microphone? Okay. Okay. You can also watch.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me to this session. My name is Valentina Ro and I'm Innovation Manager at Bioindustry Park. Bioindustry Park is a scientific and technological park. It's based in the northwest of Italy, in the Piedmont region. And we are also, I'm moving this one, the managing company of BioPMed, that is the innovation cluster focused on life sciences. As a BioPMed, we are also member of the Sistema Poli, as was mentioned before by my colleague Paolo Dondo. That is a meta-cluster that is involving all the 7 different clusters with a different vertical in the Piedmont region. The mission for BioPMed is to growth and gives access to the Piedmont health and life science value chain. How do we do that? By connecting all the actors of the healthcare and life sciences from academia, research centers, including also spin-off startups, institutions, hospitals, and health laboratories. In numbers, BioPMed can be summarized with a community that includes over 450 members. We have already 83 companies in our association, And we can count on over 20 European projects that have been carried out in the past 15 years, and we are still on active right now, and over 20 million that have been given by the region to support the cluster activity. What we can offer, so what we are doing for our community is mainly we are very good in fostering collaborative research and innovative projects. We facilitated the technology and transfer activities, and we support the exploitation of scientific research. We can help innovative solution to reach the market, to support the health system and the citizen. We are also making the local companies competitive at global level, and as a mirroring activities we can also support the soft landing of international companies that they want to penetrate the Italian market. Why we are here today? Because as many of us, we are looking for partnership to be in the European project. We would like to sharing opportunities, get opportunities for fundraising and also for our SME companies. We would like to participate more in the international events. We are already present at many international events, but we would like to improve our presence at international level, and we would like for sure to have opportunity of networking, exchange our contacts, and giving the possibility to have more contacts. My last slides with our contact, I introduce also the Sistema Poli website, and I would like to invite all the people that are being to participate to the cluster conference in Brussels to come over to our booth to know more about the Sistema Poli. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, indeed, I was about to say that it's good to remind to all those that haven't already registered for the European Cluster Conference. This is a place that's not only with all the content program, but also you know that there will be a matchmaking part of the conference. Last time we had 200 participants 2 years ago at the matchmaking session, and more than 500 meetings has been done over the couple those hours. So I really invite you to make your plans for the European Cluster Conference in Brussels. So now I would like to welcome on the floor Jan Piminski, Jan or Jan, sorry, not quite sure about the pronunciation. Okay, the floor is yours.
Green, yes?
Yes, the green one.
Jan is proper.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jan Piwinski. I'm from Industrial Research Institute for Automation and Measurements, PIAP, from Poland. PIAP is a public research institute from Warsaw. We specialize in mobile robotics and safety systems. We specialize in industrial automation and robotization, and also we are offering manufacturing services and consulting services for manufacturing SMEs, for example, in the digital transformation. So for industry, we offer also 3D scanning, 3D printing from all materials, from polymer to concrete, and also we offer fast delivery of the spare parts. Also concerning a robotics solution, we specialize in exploration, space exploration. Our robotic solutions are for inspection maintenance for the harsh environment, and of course we offer flexible object manipulation with different robotic grippers, and also all the family of the IoT and ICT solution for the manufacturing services and for the SMEs as a marketplace of our services. So what we are looking for, of course, we are looking for the partnership, for the cooperation under the Horizon Europe calls, especially in the digital, in industry, in the cluster 4, in these 3 main domains: remanufacturing, manufacturing as a service, circularity, concerning, for example, robotic disassembly of electronic waste. And of course, we are strongly looking for partnership for this I3 interregional instrument in this program to implement our smart specialization strategy in the automation and robotics. So we are strongly looking for the partnership in this program. And of course, in the forthcoming calls in the cluster 4, in the horizon. So feel free to contact me. Here's my contact details. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jan. So now it's the next speech will be done by Sara Tresoldi. Yes. You're welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Sara Tresoldi, and I'm project manager for Lombardy Cosmetic System. Lombardy Cosmetic System is the cluster dedicated to cosmetic value chain that operate here in Lombardy region, that born in 2021 between a first group of key stakeholders of the cosmetic value chain, with the aim to develop an inclusive approach to promote collaborative action to foster innovation and competitiveness of the entire value chain. Just to briefly present our cluster organization, today we have 14 members, including the two main cosmetic associations that operate here in the region, that represent about 400 companies settled here in Lombardy. Then we have 5 high-level universities with dedicated department to cosmetic research, then vocational education actors, and some public entities. Just to briefly describe some of our services, we are focused on the organization of thematic working group, focused on innovation needs of business and companies, organization of matchmaking, both between businesses and researchers, supporting the access to public funding, mainly through partnership, and then the collection of skills needs from companies and connection with educational sector. What we can offer today, first, a broad knowledge of the cosmetic value chain, the industry and the process. Then academic competencies specifically applied for the value chain, and then a strong linkage with other European cosmetic cluster. We are already part of Go for Cosmetics S3P with more than 10 European regions. What we are looking for today, our cluster is an enlargement and consolidation phase, so we are looking for other cluster, companies, startup, researchers, also from cross-sector that are interested in joining us, that are interested in the sector and that could be helpful in the development of new research and innovation projects. Thank you. Here is my contact.
Thank you very much, Sara. And now we will welcome on the floor Julia Fornara. Julia, the floor is yours.
Buongiorno, good morning everybody. Thank you for the invitation and the brilliant organization, I would say. My name is Giulia Fornara. I'm the cluster manager of Lombardy Aerospace Cluster. Lombardy Aerospace Cluster is an association of companies, universities, R&D centers located in the north of Italy. In Lombardia, we have more than 200 companies working in the aerospace field, employing more than 20,000 people. 6.3 billion euros is the turnover. And we are quite proud to say that 1/4 of the Italian aerospace export comes from Lombardia. Our cluster gathers more than 100 companies. We have both the prime contractors, so the big companies of the sectors, and a lot of small, medium enterprises, very well specialized and certified for working in the aerospace sector as required. 4 universities dealing with aerospace specializations and the collateral ones, 2 research centers, 1 testing lab, and 1 association. What is our aim? We try to support the supply chain in the aerospace for 3 different platforms of flights, which are training aircraft, helicopters, and satellites. So we also have this space specialization. We stimulate the competitive growth of small and medium enterprises. We try to foster innovation and supporting the collaboration at different levels of the supply chains. So as I said before, between the prime contractors, the big companies, and the small and medium enterprise. We try to facilitate the network, the collaboration, in order to foster the innovation. We also are focused on national and international activities to spread information about the cluster, to collect new members and new opportunities for the companies. We are also, of course, the institutional representation of the sector towards regional Lombardia, towards national institutions, and also abroad. We collaborate with EACP, which is the European Aerospace Cluster Partnership, which is the association of aerospace clusters in Europe. And we are, of course, member of the ECCP platform. So thank you for your attention, and here you can find the contacts in case you want to contact me for any further information. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. And very glad that we are having also representation from Ukraine, so I would like to welcome on the floor Olga Milward to present the Ukrainian Cluster Association. Thank you.
Thank you for the giving opportunity to present Ukrainian Cluster Association. It's a relatively young organization, was established around 2 years ago. It's a very dramatic moment of our recent history when we had the Russian troops just 2 kilometers from Kiev. It was a response for the demand for business consolidation in order to resist military Russian aggression. Now it's established organization, leading business association of 29 clusters, unites more than 1,800 enterprises. In 2023, Cluster Alliance went through major reorganization and consolidation. Now we have 29 clusters. By economic area, they are divided into 3 research centers: agriculture and food, engineering, automation, aerospace, IT machinery, and medical. Also, we have cross-sectoral collaboration platform. It's a Research Center 4 and Research Center 5 around smart cities initiatives and dual-use technologies. Ukrainian Cluster Association puts export promotion and internationalization as its first priority, and within that priority we have 3 strategies, directions. It's a fast integration into EU supply chain. Ukraine lost thousands of enterprises on occupied territories, so internal supply chains were destroyed. So we are looking for filling the gaps by European enterprises. Integration into EU innovative ecosystems. Most of critical infrastructure of Ukraine should be built from the scratch, and it's here where we are welcoming innovation projects and where your innovations can be tested. Especially it's important for critical infrastructure within energy, water supply, and heating systems, as well as housing restoration. Effectiveness in short-term bilateral collaboration. We believe that increasing number of bilateral and multilateral collaboration agreements will provide direct support for Ukrainian enterprises and is the most efficient way to increase their efficiency and productivity. As for what we are looking for, here I would like to be very specific on specific programs. So we have a new established cooperation on European Ukraine Cluster Partnership Program. It's a call for proposals where we need 2 European partners for 6 projects. That initiatives aims at integrating Ukrainian businesses into European Union supply chain, value chain, and development of cooperation agreements. We have 6 projects and we need 2 European partners for each of them. Also, I invite you to cooperate on innovative projects within a government program of resilience and recovery. It would be big recovery fund aiming at restoring housing and infrastructure. So it's again where innovations are very welcomed. It will be funded by multiple international organizations. And also we would like to invite you to support by Ukrainian government program for export promotion. Please include Ukraine into your supply chain and place orders and do outsourcing agreements, whatever. So we need support. We lost our internal market due to the war, so we have to look for our export possibilities as well, because staying resilient means win the war. Please contact me for more details. I don't know why I haven't created that last slide, and I'm very new in this environment, but I will improve.
Thank you. Thank you, Olga. I would now like to invite Cosima Trevisanello to present the Venetian cluster.
Thank you. Big pressure after our colleague from Ukraine. Thank you for joining. My name is Cosima. Nice to meet you. I represent Venetian Cluster. We are a cluster for cultural and environmental heritage as well as tourism. Not sure how to use this. Green one. The green. Yeah. So what we do, we are focused on SMEs and supply chain and the development of specifically the sector of cultural and environmental heritage, cultural and creative SMEs. We are based in Venice. We were born in 2004, and we are recognized officially as Regional Innovative Network, and we are part of the ECCP. What we offer a solid experience in projects, national and international, as well as a wide network. We're talking about 2,000 project partners, more than 400 enterprises, public and private, more than 30 countries involved, and more than 100 projects developed. Speaking of projects and experience, we would like to mention a few projects ongoing, co-funded by the COSME program, 2 of which being Euroclusters, FranceCI and EU Rural Tourism, and Digitour. They're all envisage cascade funding for SMEs of the specific sectors we are focused on, meaning culture and creative, environment, and tourism, for about a total of 4 million euros of all these 3 projects combined. What we look for is establishing valid partnerships, matching up with valid partners that are willing to commit on digitization, internationalization, technology transfer, and supporting the supply chain and SMEs to go international, go green, go digital, and sustainable. What we also look for is creating a national alliance, national association of clusters, Italian clusters, we are available, we are committed to work on this. We think it's a very important and useful initiatives, and yeah, you can contact us if you are interested. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, I think the expectations were set even yesterday for creating the Italian National Cluster Association, so I'm pretty sure that there are already discussions on that. And also I was really glad you presenting the Digital, one of the projects that I as a cluster manager has been participating and still participating, so real pleasure to be part of the consortium. And now we are going towards last but not least, I would like to welcome on the floor Juanma Revuelta. So I know that your presentation is very long, but you've been presenting.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
First of all, grazie mille. Thank you very much for inviting us. I represent Finnova Foundation. We are our headquarters in Brussels. We have an antenna here in Milano with Mr. Maximiliano Dragoni, and also we have delegations in 5 regions in Spain, that is Valencia, Madrid, Sevilla, Canary Islands, and Extremadura. And also we have a delegation in Chile to try to transfer technology from Europe to Latin America through some programs like Horizon Europe and All Invest Green, and it's working very well. Okay, what I want to, we are here to try to improve our participation. We have a lot of experience in Horizon, in Interreg, and in LIFE. We have a methodology with the DG Connect of the European Commission. It's the Startup Europe Awards. It's an open innovation methodology to try to identify the best technology in some verticals. And as an example, we are here with the project Rest for Cities. Is an ongoing project that pretend to decarbonize in cities or what is decarbonized and to reduce water. And after in the closing session, the Vice Minister of Industry of the Government of Valencia is going to launch here the Industrial Water Startup Europe Awards in 4 sectors that are quite interested for Lombardy region, also for Valencia, and perhaps for many others in this meeting room. One in the field of industrial water from agro-industry, the second in the automotive industry, the third will be water from the textile and fashion industry, and the fourth in the field of ceramic industry, as an example. We are now trying to build up some nice projects in the field of industry. And all of you are invited to Manufacture for All seminar we are organizing in Brussels, 30th of April, and we are working, as I explained, in the framework of the Interreg Euromed program that has been just published, and we have some regions, as Valencia region open, as Finnova, as foundation, we are in Brussels, but in Spain we can participate, and we would like to identify some partners here, but also for the LIFE. We are working hard in the next LIFE program, that the deadline will be in September, in the sub-programs Circular Economy and Climate Change and Renewable Energies. Some of our priorities, as I have mentioned also, or what is sustainable in fashion is quite interesting. And for that, we have this tool, Startup Europe Awards, that we have included in several projects as a work package for promoting these Startup Europe Awards, this identification of startups, promoting our European ticket of accelerator means to transform that the winner's idea, the award ideas, in a real life project, in a real Horizon Europe project, linking the startup with a corporate, with the region, with a province, with a municipality as a living lab user of that innovation technology. I will be here around. We have prepared in Italian and in English the presentation, and thank you very much. Grazie mille.
Thank you so much. And yes, the presentation we will upload on the European Cluster Collaboration Platform together with all the presentations that we heard today. I would like to thank really to all participants in the pitching session that they were very precise in the time, and please join me for applauding once again all the participants in the pitching session. Thank you. Paolo?
Thank you, Teodora. When we start to design and program this event, when the European Commission and the ECCP award us and say, okay, start to develop this program, it was 2 days ago, and no, some weeks more. That's why my staff is going to aid me, and I will send my CV to someone of you later. Marek told me, and I fully agree with him, don't make the event only a talk about opinion, which is important, but we have also to implement what we say on the real living. So the industrial part is so important in that part because we are sure that you can make the digital transition without sustainability, hopefully not, but you can do it. But you can't do the sustainability of the transition without data, without the digital transition done before. So a very important part is to make the sustainability a reality. And to make a reality, we need factories, we need enterprise to make devices. Because if you want photovoltaic energy, if you want wind energy, if you want e-mobility, if you want remanufacturing, if you want waste material treatment, you need factories that develop machine to manufacture this kind of material. You need devices to control the e-mobility. You need device to share data. You need machine to be remanufactured. So we have to bring the sustainability an opportunity to the industrial war. That's why we decided to have a panel dedicated to the industrial point of view. So I will call my moderator, Marco Sacco. I saw him before. Ciao, Marco. Welcome. And he will moderate the industrial panel as the industry will be the enablers of the sustainability. Please, Marco.
Okay, thank you, Paolo. It will be very hard after so in-time pitch to stay on time. So I start calling the speeches. So Marcello Colledani, associate professor at Polytechnic of Milano. Good morning, Marcello. Michele Petit, innovation specialist at ICIM Group. I saw Michele. Okay, he's coming. Good morning, Michele. Alessandra Grimolli, client partner director, retail industry, EMEA digital solution at Clerks. Good morning, Alessandra. Fabrizio Guarrassi, here is coming, is business development manager for the Lombardy Energy Cluster, and good morning, Fabrizio. And Ilaria Re, Chief Operating Officer, Lombardy Green Chemistry Association, so the Lombardy Cluster. Okay, so here we are. So what we have to talk to in this panel session, the last one, so it's also hard because we are the last one in the panel session, is to talk about the enablers, the industrial enablers for sustainability. I was very happy in the first session of this morning that Pierluigi Petralli speak about the three axes of sustainability that come from what also in the inspirational peak Professor Toglio yesterday told us. So we need to look at sustainability in three axes. Of course, the environmental one is the one that all the people know. We have talked about this several times, but we don't have to forget the economical one and the social one. I think there is no, let's say, time to explain why we have to keep all the three together, but if you just look, and most of you stay in the hotel this night, I mean, how the hotel go on the sustainability? Well, just say don't use your towels one day, but keep it for more day. This is involved the social aspect, so the people are encouraged to not waste water and other things, keeping the towel. But this is also economical for the hotel because they wash less towel, and this is economical point of view. And in this way, they reach the environmental sustainability. So you see that if we do it in a smart way and we keep the three axes together, we can really success in the sustainability. So I just introduced briefly myself. I'm the cluster manager of the Technology for Living Environment. The cluster is dealing with technology for people. So we are looking at the people before to develop technology in a sustainable way. And of course, having people at the center, we are looking first of all at the social aspect. Of course, we look at the economical aspect because I just make an example. We deal with the continuation of care. So we try to bring technology from hospital to home. And this is, of course, is a saving money for hospital and for the whole healthcare industry. And of course, this technology can help us to be also sustainable in front of the nature, so the environment. So this is our example that we can put forward, and today our speaker will show which could be the enablers. And yesterday we talked about artificial intelligence. Of course, is a one of the enabler, but today you will see that we have several other possibilities to enable industrial sustainability. So I would start with Marcello Colledani, and I would ask to him that I know that for several years work on remanufacturing and recycle, which are really the enablers for sustainability.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks, Marco. Good morning, and thanks for the invitation. Well, the enablers for sustainability, very complex question. So I would like to start speaking about technologies, solutions that are emerging, because we can, of course, spend hours discussing about specific technologies. You have some projects there that are developing I3 projects that are scaling up some of the technology that we have been developing already in Horizon 2020, Horizon Europe, etc. I would like to spend the 2 minutes I have for telling you a story of, I think, not of developing a specific enabler, but of facilitating, through the activities of the cluster, the ecosystem of companies in our cluster, AFIL, in identifying their route towards development of enablers for sustainability and towards more circular business models. So we started in 2015 with this, it was called a working group at that time, now it's called Strategic Community of AFIL. It's called DN Remanufacturing for Circular Economy. And we were just a few SMEs and myself coordinating the work, beginning 10, 15 people, start speaking about what concrete actions could be done to promote more sustainable business model, more sustainable operations, but also to grasp some economic value from the opportunities provided by this transition. And that time, we, through some preliminary experiments, to some collaborative work, we identified one route and one specific problem that that time was 2017, the recycling of composite materials from wind blades. There was an interest from some companies that were very active in working on developing parts made of GFRP, glass fiber reinforced plastics, other CFRP. So we put together, we tried to identify the current gap in reusing, recycling and reusing these materials, and the complexities, the challenges. Then we bring the topic together with other regions through the European dimension of the cluster, and we set up a project that time was called Fiber Use. It was an innovation action, trying to further develop the technologies, both hardware, both process technologies, but also digital technologies that could have helped getting closer to a solution of this problem that is a large-scale problem. You know that 70,000 tons of GFRP from wind blades are expected in 2025, and currently there's still no solution on the market on what to do with these materials. Then we went through this process. I want to do the story short. We finished this process. This project we submitted a European project. We won the project. We carried out the project. 2021, it was finished. We had some solutions. We have some prototypes that were embedding this material. We brought this prototype here at the Milan Design Week. Very nice event. But we understood that we should have opened the demand for this material, this secondary material, because otherwise the business would have never scaled up. And so we applied for an I3 project following the trajectory and the strategy of that new program, and trying to promote also cascade funding to attract more end users for these materials. And now we are in the phase of scaling up the technology, scaling up the solutions, both from the hardware and digital point of view, and promoting the development of a new business. So I hope it gives the sense. So it's an investment that we do in working for the cluster. So yesterday I've heard that clusters have an average 5 people working. It's honestly much more people that is working, investing their time because they bring their capabilities, their capacity in a function of the community with a medium long-term reward expectation more than a short-term reward. And I think that is the most motivating aspect of working in a cluster in this ecosystem.
Okay, thank you very much, Marcello. Okay, we are talking about enablers, and most of the time we think just about technologies. But I think, Michele, there is not just a technology, because once you develop the technology, you have to check and be sure that they respect the norm, they are standard. So what role does compliance play to ensure this sustainability, that sustainability is really in place?
Thanks Marco, and morning everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here speaking to you. And I am an innovation account for Ishim Group, which is a holding providing services within the TIC sector. So I will present a point of view from of compliance as enabler of sustainability, and is actually gaining weights in compliance is gaining weights as an important factor within project, as our collaboration with clusters, regional cluster is proving. And it actually consists in the alignment of industrial process to recognize the sustainability standards and norms. And as the legislative framework and technology development is speeding up, it gains importance, let's say. Certification, from certification point of view, it stands and gains in its importance, given the proving as a tangible evidence of company efforts towards the recognized standards and framework. The new directive, which are coming into force these years as last and will be for the next, as I don't know, it comes to my mind the CBAM, the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, which is setting a level of carbon emission for imported products. It is an example of how legislative framework is driving sustainability nowadays. I would also spend a few words on the importance of compliance, as this year is coming into force also the CSRD directive, which will shed a light on the importance of technologies as enable for data collecting, monitoring, in order to disclose business performance and activities and business activities on the environmental, social, and governance aspects. Should I?
Yeah, okay. I think we go more in deep in a second round if we all keep the time. So, Alessandra, we are speaking about the digital transformation or digital industrialization, and we can speak also about scalable process as an enabler of sustainability. That means then the green transition. So, from your point of view and your company, I think also your company is one that really push for the digitalization. So you can present your experience on that.
Thank you, Marco, and good morning, everyone. Alessandra Grimoldi, I'm the Client Partner Director in eClerks. It's a business process organization that is helping companies in their digital transformation, which means a lot. But let me explain also my past backgrounds. I have been working 20 years in a manufacturer company, and this is how I knew eClerks. Going back to your question, digital is everywhere. It's in our hands, is in the communication, is seen as an enabler of an engagement, is seen as data forecasting with the data insights management. And if you bring together digital with this definition and you put it together with the complexity of factories, of industrial processes, that's the magic formula to drive to sustainability. So we can say that digital is a scalable and sustainable process for industries. And if I take an example, big manufacturer, more than 9,000 products, new product launches, that needs to be in the market, 24 markets in Europe. And what the big company needs to produce is also marketing communication. And imagine, only 8 years ago, the company was sending physical products in a physical place to be shot. And that turned to be the fact that only 20% of the SKUs was covered with assets that were needed for all the markets in order to sell the products. So with eClerks, we came with say, how can we help? How can we digitalize this physical process so that it becomes sustainable, first of all, no more products to be sent into one specific market, speeding up the process. Why? Because before, all the products were having assets always late. And making sure that we can measure the return on investments. So by changing from physical into computer graphic, we have been able to completely change the production. And that now enables this big manufacturer company, that you can guess they are, in providing all the assets at one time, and also being published in the correct places in more than 400 retailers online. So that's a tangible example of how digital can maximize the investments and give no waste of time, no waste of money, and return on measurable things. Thank you.
Thank you, Alessandra. And okay, in these days, of course, we have talked about cluster. And Fabrizio, what does it mean for you to be an enabler for your industrial company? So how cluster can be enabler for associated and in general for industry?
Thank you, Marco, for the question. And yes, I'm Fabrizio Guarrasi. I work as business development for the Lombardy Energy Cleantech Cluster. Briefly, we are a cluster, regional cluster for energy environment, and our final aim is to develop industrial sector here, of course, in the field of energy and environment through, of course, the link with our 150 members. For us, being industrial enablers means to use a kind of entrepreneur approach in line of use and catch external needs from, of course, our members, and try to translate these needs in new innovation projects. Especially my work in the cluster is to actually develop the cluster through new project, through new partnership. How we do that? Marco spoke about sustainability. Of course, sustainability for us, I think for all the clusters actually, and all the companies, actually it's a must-have topic inside our daily life. To do that, to allow companies to develop and grow, actually, we use two kinds of approaches, the top-down and bottom-up approach, in which top-down are activities and projects that come from all our members or from at regional level, such as we have different ongoing projects, such as Vanguard Initiative is one of them. Then we have the bottom-up approach, that is activities that starts from our clusters. For example, we are involved in different European network on circular economy or hydrogen that starts from at strategic level, starts from the cluster, and then of course we involve all our members. Another point that it's very important for us is the interregional collaboration. Here we are at a European event in which the interregional collaboration is the key point in order to allow all our entities to, let's say, link our dots, link our know-how in order to achieve new project and give an tangible impact in our territories. So if I have to summarize, I think that we are industrial enablers as entrepreneurs start new business opportunities. Of course, sustainability is our guideline, our most guideline that we use in our activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Fabrizio. And now, I mean, Ilaria, you are the cluster manager for one of the clusters where, of course, the sustainability and the impact is quite high, chemistry. So, which are the enablers for the chemical sector, for the chemical industry?
Thank you, Marco, for the question, and good morning, everybody. Yes, in the recent year, the chemical industry has been experiencing a quite huge transformation towards sustainability, boosted by pressing environmental challenges, a very stringent regulation, and great demand for transparency and innovative solutions that can drive this positive change. The megatrends of this path are based on three main pillars. Let's say the first one is to shifting to green chemistry. That's mean designing products and processes able to minimize the environmental impact, reduce waste production, and prioritize using of raw materials. Even companies in more traditional sector, such as the pharmaceutical one, probably one of the backbones of the Lombardy manufacturing, there are many companies investing in a cleaner solutions and sustainable alternatives by using ecological solvents and using biological renewable resources and zero-emission production methods. The second pillar is to embracing circular economy. to minimize the resource consumption and increase the quality of the products. In our integrated supply chains, even more supported than voluntary certification, probably one of the most transformative new approach in the chemical industry, we are now experiencing a huge transformation from the take, make, and disposal methods to one that promotes recycling, reuse, and recycling resources. Voluntary certification can be a key of this transformation. Many companies want to increase the added value of their products by creating more synergies and also guarantee more transparency. That's mean not only increase the value of the products in order to meet the investors, the clients, and suppliers' requests, but also to better positioning their products compared to the fossil-based counterparts and many other bio-based alternatives. Companies are actively seek partnership with suppliers that share their commitments to environmental sustainability. And also in Lombardy, for example, with a very relevant abundance of biomass, we are now experiencing new partnerships that brings together fine chemicals producers, municipal soil, solid waste collectors, and primary producers that are stimulating new business model. And finally, boosting digitalization and cutting-edge technology based on big data, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things. Yesterday, and also my colleagues today, talk a lot about the role of digitalization. Digitalization in chemical industry is quite new. There are many challenges to tackle in order to boost this path. But yeah, increasing the efficiency and product quality thanks to real-time monitoring and predictive analytics can become a reality also in chemical sectors. Not only those kind of products based on use of renewable resources, but also, pharmaceutical ones and many other manufacturing sectors. Open innovation platform in our regions, but also at the European level, can play a crucial role on accelerating this path, in particular to make more resilience in the value chain creation and also bringing sustainable solution to the market.
Okay, thank you, Ilaria. Ilaria spoke about regulation. Michele, how does compliance with environment and social regulation can really, let's say, influence the development, the implementation of technological solution?
Thanks once more, Marco. It does influence the development of industrial solution, and I would say economy in a very sensible way as we think about, for instance, the taxonomy regulation. It defines principle which stands on most of the funds our national governments dispose. It is the do not significant harm, which is directing funds on activities in line and aligned with the European goals, European environmental goals. So it means that national funds of European countries can be disposed just on projects that will help or contribute in a way to reach those goals. We've seen on, for example, the funds disposed for the 4.0 transition that were for technologies interconnected with each other, that were mainly focused on efficiency and waste reducing, and now is driving through the defined 0.0 transition is mainly focused on efficiency, and it is a practical examples of how the legislative framework evolution directly impacts on the industrial solution we develop.
Okay, thank you, Michele. And Alessandra, Michele spoke about the technology of Industry 4.0. So maybe you can present one application, I don't know, ER, VR could be one of the technology. Yesterday we speak about AI. So some example that could help to really see how really the technology then are implemented in this direction.
Yes, thank you. And if you think about 6 years ago, we were talking about virtual reality and everybody had a question in their mind saying, how can I apply it? How can it be tangible? Is it not only related to gaming area? And I guess that if you have kids, you understand what I mean. But nowadays, augmented reality and virtual reality is used in different departments. It's used in e-commerce and it's used also in industrial areas. For example, if you have a phone, did you ever try to place with your phone a product in your home to understand how does it fit? Who did it? Nobody? You did. So that is an example of how augmented reality is entering your home. And you can immediately see how the product fits, if a washing machine enters into a place, if it's 60 centimeter or 45, if you're wearing a pair of glasses that you like yourself or not. And that's a tangible example of how augmented reality is entering in our life. Virtual reality is something that in terms of industrial is very important, because every time an engineer needs to prototype something new, imagine the cost of making this happen. One prototype can cost from 20,000 euros to 100,000, depends on the technology behind. And every time an engineer has an assumption, guess how long does it take to make this happen? Virtual reality is a virtual space where the assumptions are becoming true fast and, let me say also, less costly. And this is where you can test, you can adjust, and it's forecasting the mistakes because it's based on data. So by putting together data, reality, and virtual, engineers have the right capability to take the correct decision before implementation. And that is available in the industrial area of 4.0, and this is evolving every day. Another application is about immersive training. So before you had to put everybody in the room, like we are today, physically here, and it's like to have a relationship, don't take me wrong. But if you need to train sales force in different markets with different languages, guess how much a company needs to pay to make this happen? And virtual reality can be an engaging place where you put different people in the same area and interactive and learning, always moderated by a consultant or even by the information that you can browse on yourself. But that's an enabler of connecting different people in a new space by learning. So I guess these are some examples that I can bring in here to see how now virtual reality and augmented reality is used in our daily life, but also in the industrial segment.
Thank you very much, Alessandra. And Fabrizio, Alessandra brings some technology example. You also have some use cases, some good experience that can really show, because we are trying really to show this is not just a theoretical activity, but we are doing really, let's say, reach the implementation and the innovation in the company.
Yes, actually, we have different activities that I can show here to you. It's, I will try to summarize a bit on the main concept of the, I spoke about interregional collaboration and regional collaboration. I would like to put these two main topics because at regional level, we started, and we really believe in the importance of the supply chains. As clusters, as energy cluster, we develop 4 main supply chain here at Lombardy level on hydrogen, energy communities, sludge, and green building. In this view, we give let's say, the floor, the opportunity to our members to work together in a specific, let's say, topic that for us as cluster is strategic for the at the Lombardy level. Speaking about a European level, the interregional collaboration, it's the main topic for us, actually. We are involved in an I3 on building new resilient supply chain on three main pillars that are bioenergy, green building, and mineral waste. So as you can understand, the topic of supply chain that can be at European level or at regional level are a key aspect to allow new development for regional level and of course European level. Another point that I would like to let's say present you is startups. For us as clusters, the startups are a key point in order to achieve that innovation that we require, actually. Of course, we are not an accelerator, we are not a VC, but the importance to use our open innovation approach in order to put together startups and large enterprises, it's a key point in order to achieve that development that we really need to let's say, to boost. So, yes, supply chain and open innovation approach are the key element for our cluster, especially in the field of energy that, as you know, it's very innovative. The innovation goes super fast. So we as cluster, we really are that entity that allow the SMEs and the startups to link the dot and achieve the innovation.
Thank you very much, Fabrizio. And Ilaria, before you speak about regulation and the environment in which your industry is playing, but in concrete, what your cluster is doing as enabler for the company?
Thank you for the question. So our cluster mobilized over than 200 companies with a turnover of 50 billion euros and 43,000 employees, over than 500 million annual investment in research. So green chemistry and bioeconomy are in Lombardy are for sure an hub of excellence put in the middle of the broader chemical national sector, so representing more than 31% of companies. Our cluster is strongly committed to support the decision-making process of companies and universities and policymakers in the field by providing tools and methods focused on modeling, business model based on zero waste and bio-based approach. With that in mind, we are now working in our European project that we are leading, focus on creating an index and a methodology that can be fully integrated in the chemical sector based on sustainability by design criteria. That means guarantee a more transparency approach of companies interested in putting on the market new bio-based products, starting from the selection of the most innovative and sustainable raw materials towards the selection of the low environmental impact logistic solutions. This is possible also to considering the so-called industrial symbiosis approach. That means the raw materials coming from other leading supply chains can become valuable resources for another sector, not really in the same sector, but also cross-sectorally, with a cross-sectoral approach and also cross-regionally. In order to do that, we are leading the bioeconomy pilot of the Vanguard Initiative. We are involved in I3 proposal and projects, and then we try to replicate this approach in many, many regions in order to guarantee the involvement in a quadruple helix approach to all relevant stakeholders and also contribute on, streamline the regulatory pathway and then, and new restriction, let's say, that is probably the most important challenge. Voluntary certification can help on achieve that, and also standardization of new bio-based products. I believe that regulation and standardization and also our contribution on creating, for example, policy recommendation for regions and for countries at European level can be focused on support the decision making. Another thing is related to the use of artificial intelligence for modeling more resilient value chains. Regulation is strictly relating to the business model and the value chain shaping. In some regions, some biomass can be used or can be converted in added value. In other regions, this kind of approach is not possible. So then we aim to modeling an indicator to monitoring, measuring, and create prospects of industrial symbiotic approach in order to help regions to revise or include in their smart specialization strategy, for example, or their policy regional instruments, some recommendations, some points, some elements that can help chemical industry to overcoming this challenge and then increase the quality and the quantity of the bio-based solution in the market.
Okay, thank you very much. Marcello, coming up to the end, I mean, we talk about how the cluster could be the regulation, how the regulation, the enabler, we speak about technology as enabler, materials as enabler. You come from a university, which could be the role of a university in this sense, putting maybe also together a vision for what will come in the future.
Thanks, Marco. Yeah, try to let's say, capture all three aspects that you mentioned in a single answer. Again, an example. We at Polyme have been involved, because it's finishing this month, in the CIRPAS CSA. I don't know if you are familiar with CIRPAS, but it's the only CSA, Coordinated Support Action, launched by the European Commission on systematizing the concept and making the ecosystem ready for the adoption of the digital product passport, which is an innovation that will affect and will influence the way manufacturers will bring their product to the market. Of course, we brought some of the lessons learned in this project during the project development to the AFIL working group, now a strategic community, continuously updating on even the technical characteristics of the future DPP, as far as we know, because it's continuously under development by three DGs at European level. And we try to keep all the industrial ecosystem at Lombardy region level aligned on what they can expect from the future DPP in terms of added value, business opportunities, but also in terms of obligation. That's again linked with regulation. So behind the DPP, there is currently the ESPR, let's say, strategy or guidelines. And there are specific delegated acts for different product categories that are being developed, the first one being on batteries, already in place. So DPP target will be 2027, so for industry is tomorrow. They have to be aware of what is happening, they were to be aware of the opportunities, and they have to be also bringing their voice back to the, let's say, group of stakeholders that are shaping this big change. That's an example of how we act.
Okay, thank you very much. So we are at the end of this panel session. I thanks all the speakers and thank you for the attention. Just another information, we don't have time to speak because there are several enablers. One is going to come. There are a few new partnerships that will be launched at European level on materials, on virtual worlds. So, I mean, if you have time during the lunchtime, we can also discuss about this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Marco, and I also would like to thank all the participants in this discussion. And now we are going to the, more or less, the closing remarks of the second day. So I would like to welcome on the floor Felipe Javier Carrasco Torres for, do we have him? Felipe, no? Okay, so maybe then.
So,
okay,
but
so I may
we can ask to help us, Marek, to give you
yes, Marek,
some difficulty we ask you to come before and waiting for the Vice Minister from Valencia region, so you can give us some points, some suggestion from European Commission point of view, please.
First of all, actually I plan to thank all participants who came to the clusters Meet Regions, and I wanted to thank you hosts and you particularly, both of you, for organizing this. It took time. We are here in the 5th of clusters of regions. It's one of most interesting, I would say. I'm happy it's the first time in Italy. We hope we might have next year in Italy, maybe already with something like launching the National Italian Cluster Association, who knows. We would like to invite you as well to other clusters Meet Regions to come to Graz on the 18th of June. It will be in Austria, the first time in Austria. So basically we covered already Finland, Sweden, Poland, France, Germany, Austria, Spain. We are still going to go to, we're in Bulgaria, we are still going to go to Greece, Ireland. So all the, it takes, but I think all over it looks like these events gives a new dynamics as well in the cluster development in certain countries. And I hope this will give, we hope, the collaboration of Italian clusters, so the National Cluster Association is created. It doesn't have to be a legal entity, just that it gives really the, it reflects the power of your economy and the power of Italian clusters. So once again, thank you very much for coming. We have highlighted the priorities actually which are at the EU level, the priorities which are reflected in legislation, which is, we are at the moment right now before the parliament elections to the European Parliament. I don't need to welcome you to participate actively in the elections and choose the ones who can further lead the European Union. This is the moment when in the Commission as well we are starting to discussing and reflecting on the new Commission priorities, but as well on the new instruments, financial instruments for the multi-annual financial framework, which seems to be far because seems to be to 2028-2035, but believe me, the discussions starting now. The time is passing, the new Commission will come, the new Parliament will come, and then 2025 will be exactly about designing new instruments for the future. And here I would like to call for your active involvement in giving your positions. So right now, and we have cluster talks every second Wednesday at 8:30, virtual, some of you participate. We always touch upon the most important topics which are relevant for clusters. It is something that we want to share as a European Commission to disseminate the information so that you have actual information on development as well. We are responding to the needs from cluster committee, and actually next will be about aerospace and defense, and this is something that on the 10th of April we present there as well the funding opportunities related to specific topics. So and then you will learn as well, we've launched on our European Cluster Collaboration Platform, we are launching the survey regarding the evaluation of the Single Market Program instrument. You can all share your views and give ideas for the future instrument. What works, what doesn't. These things are really taken into account. We really look at them and we take them in designing, take them into account in designing. In the short run, after the European Cluster Conference, we will start really drafting the new Eurocluster call. based on the experiences that we got from this run. This will be launched the end of this year. So it will be new Eurocluster core. You know that there is the call for interregional innovation investments soon to be launched, and then clusters are very active in both of them. But Eurocluster is something that we will develop. We are listening very closely to the comments and very attentively. And I think what I can say, it will be very much in the direction of value chain development in the EU. So building meta clusters, but as well looking at the critical inputs, critical processes. I want to come to the European cluster, come back to the European Cluster Conference, where we have, to be honest, I have organized, while I'm in the Commission, 7 such big events with commissioners, prime minister, and so on. But for the first time, 6 weeks before, we have already 500 registrations, and maximum capacity is 500. So we will now struggle, because the closer, the more. So basically, who hasn't registered yet, please do it as soon as possible. 300 of participants are cluster managers, cluster members. We will have SMEs, business organizations, we will have policymakers, so from all over Europe. And this is something that I'm very happy about. Mai is nice in Brussels. Our commissioner Breton confirmed his his participation in person. We still might have as well the Prime Minister from Belgium as the presidency of the Council. We will have Christian Ketters, as many of you in Cluster Committee know, some good really researchers in this field. And we will have, and here, one of the comments we got after the Prague Cluster Conference was that we needed to more space for interactions. So basically we will have as well this high-level panels on 2 main topics. One, European clusters as drivers for value chains in the EU. It can give you the ideas about our thoughts for the future of cluster communities in the EU. And the second, clusters as investment hotspots, to attract investments and build communities. Then we will have this and interactive sessions in participatory leadership method. World Café, where we want to grasp and harvest the collective intelligence of the group. So we will go on implementation of what, so green, digital, and resilience, because we've been talking about this for the last 4 years. There's now some experience in the community how to do, so we want to discuss who actually you need to liaise with, what kind of barriers you found in implementation, and what eventually solutions you would propose both to public authorities at EU level, national or regional level. And then how, through main enablers, skills, technologies, and funding. And then we go for, the next day we will go for 6 sessions, standard sessions with panelists on security, as you can imagine, on shared value clusters, on the internationalization, on meta clusters. This is something that we want to discuss with you. We will have practitioners, we will have researchers, and I think after this conference we will have some ideas how to further develop the European cluster community in the EU. And we will have as well interesting site visits in Brussels for things that you would be very maybe similar like here in Milan when we go to Mind, but if you are coming to Brussels, it's worth to see what is going and happening in Belgium. because there are Belgians who are organizing the site visits, particularly for new AI applications, digitalization. So you're all welcome, and I would like once again to thank you very much for coming, and hope to see you in other clusters, Meet Regions, and hope to see you in Brussels at the European Cluster Conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marek. I know that you are looking to us as the last obstacle to your lunch, so don't kill us. But anyway, we will ask you some minutes more because we are waiting for the lift working and taking back the Valencian Vice Ministry. So in few minutes, just I hope one, Teodora will introduce him with the right name exactly, Felipe Javier Carrasco Torres. And hopefully we will see him appearing from the back of the room. So we can manage it that way. Samuel, can you give the information, the last wrap-up of today, and give the information for the Mind visit and for ESM pilot for our guests? And so we manage this way, shifting the speech.
So even if we have some logistic problems with one of the last speakers, we got to the end of this two-day workshop. But this is not the end of the program, because in the afternoon we will have two, let's say, side activities. One will be the site visit to Mind Innovation District for those who have applied for that, but it is also possible to admit some last-minute participants in case you're interested. And in parallel, here in Lombardy Region premises, we will also have a Vanguard Initiative workshop on batteries. So if you're interested in that, you can refer to my colleagues Elena and Eda. So going back to the discussions, I will use the same keywords as today to let you in your mind some let's say key points. So during these 2 days, we have talked about circular economy as well as sustainability, considering 3 different aspects, namely the environmental, the economic, and the social ones. We have talked about digitalization, and we have had a special focus yesterday on artificial intelligence with the research and innovation priorities that were presented for Lombardy region by our colleagues from Università degli Studi di Bergamo and Politecnico di Milano. Today, for example, we added something more, focus on citizens during the first session that we had. So I would say that in addition to the discussions that we had during these 2 days within the ecosystem you are all part of, we also have to think about concrete actions to be taken. And the examples that were presented during the startup pitch yesterday or during the cluster pitch today, in addition to all the words and the initiatives that were presented by the speakers from the companies, the clusters, the universities, and the other stakeholders involved on twin transition must, let's say, have a follow-up. Also the European Union plays a key role, as Marek told us yesterday and today. And with special regard to the EU and the I3 projects that were mentioned by Professor Marcello Colledani before. As you will see when you will go to the lunch, you can have a look at the roll-ups that we have on the side and at the end of the room. And most of them are projects managed by AFIL cluster in collaboration, for example, with Politecnico di Milano or with the, let's say, support from Lombardy region. So I think we also have to consider that we don't have to implement actions just at local level, but also follow on what the European Union is asking or suggesting us to do. So let's say to close my intervention, I would like to thank, first of all, the moderators and the speakers that intervened yesterday and today, and also you participants for being here. I mean, a lot of people still here after 1.5 days of these interesting discussions. At the same time, I would like to thank the European Commission and the EISMEA agency for being here, in particular Marek and Arianna for helping us building this event in the last 2 months that we had before this event. Also, Lombardy region supported us with these nice premises that we were able to use for the 2 days. And the sponsors also made this possible, and you will find their desks at the end of the room if you want to listen more from what they're doing. And a special thank to our president, Cristian Colombo, our cluster manager, Alessandro Marini, and our executive director, Paolo Vercesi, for supervising the organization of this event. But special thanks to the 4 colleagues from AFIL that made this possible, in particular Elena, Eda, and Martina, and myself, of course. So thanks again. There is a lunch waiting for you outside after the closing remarks from the Vice Minister from Valencia. And if you applied for one of the 2 activities in the afternoon, the meeting point will be 1:45 downstairs in front of the entrance when you enter this morning for the site visit to Mind, and 1:45 outside the room or in this room for the Vanguard Initiative workshop. And in the first case, you could refer to my colleague Martina for Mind, while for the other, you can refer to Elena and Eda that are sitting there in the right side of the room. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Samuel. And it's a great pleasure now to welcome on the floor for the closing remarks the Vice Minister Felipe Javier Carrasco Torres from the Valencia Regional Authority, Ministry for Industrial Commerce and Tourism Policies. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Good morning. Regional and European authorities, distinguished colleagues and honorable guests. It is a great honor to address you today representing the Valencian community at this significant event. Allow me to express the deepest gratitude to everyone involved in organizing this meeting, from the organizers to the experts, cluster managers, entrepreneurs, academics, other participants, and the institutional and regional authorities of Italy and the European Union. It is highly important to highlight our historical collaboration with Lombardy, a region with which, along with Piedmont and Liguria, we form our first European economic interest grouping in the early 19th, promoting technological transfer between businesses and technological centers. In the Valencian community, we deeply value the evolution our cluster have undergone since then. Industrial districts focused on specific products have evolved towards broader approaches based on cross-market and cross-technology. These clusters are the backbone of our entrepreneurial ecosystem, driving innovation and supporting our economy every step of the way. The Valencian community is distinguished not only by the leadership in Spain in terms of startup density per habitant, with nearly of 2,000 active startups across its 3 provinces, but also as home to diverse community of around 100 investors, including business angels, family offices, and universities, as well as hosting more than 170 corporate investors. This vibrant entrepreneurial activity positions as a national and international benchmark, highlighting the innovation and growth capacity characterizes our region. Beyond the notable number of new companies, the Valencian community is recognized for its powerful network of technological institutes and incubators, a fundamental infrastructure that provides decisive support to innovative projects. The region additionally benefits from an extensive entrepreneurship ecosystem map that includes 860 entities dedicated to innovation and a large regional innovation agency, IBACE-MASI, which catalyze major territorial industrial strategy lines. This infrastructure ensures that Valencian community not only attracts entrepreneurs for its favorable environment, but also provides optimal conditions for the growth and development of startups, consolidating its status as a top-level entrepreneurial ecosystem. For the period 2021-27, it prioritizes the transformation towards a more sustainable, digital, and inclusive economy, aligning with the current global and regional challenges. It focuses its efforts on key sectors such as information and communication technologies to digitize the industry, sustainable energy to promote clean sources and energy efficiency, and health and biotechnology, focusing on innovation and personalized medicine. It is also drives circular economy and innovation in the agri-food sectors, develops smart tourism, supports the transformation towards sustainable automotive and mobility, and enhances the creativity and cultural industries. These areas are seen as drivers of competitiveness, sustainable economic growth, and social well-being improvement in the region. This path towards sustainable reindustrialization leads us to recognize the crucial importance of clusters, which are the heart of our smart specialization strategies. The role is indispensable, not only for our region, but for the entire European economic fabric, aligning our regional ambition with the Union's major goals. These clusters, evolving from industrial districts to market and cross-technology-oriented approaches, are crucial for fostering innovation and supporting our economic growth. The necessary collaboration between European regions through clusters is a fundamental pillar to accelerate the European transition towards sustainable and innovative practices. This interregional collaboration, driven by the synergy between different innovation ecosystems, is vital for sharing knowledge, technology, and strategies to contribute to positioning the European Union as an industrial powerhouse. The Valencian community, with its commitment to innovation and sustainable development, seeks to be a key player in this collaborative process, fostering alliances and that transcend borders and contribute to a stronger, more resilient, and competitive European Union. The Valencian community and its friendly region in Italy must strengthen their historic collaboration to exploit synergies in key sectors such as sustainable energy, digital technology, and health, jointly facing challenges like digital transformation and ecological transformation through collaborative projects between both ecosystems where clusters play a critical role. As this event concludes, I wish to reiterate my thanks to everyone involved, from speakers to each attendee. Together, we are shaping a path towards a shared future, full of possibilities and opportunities. Our collective journey towards innovation and sustainability is more promising than ever, thanks to the synergy and collaborative spirit that characterizes us. With renewed commitment and the inspiration we have shared, let us move forward with the certainty that our union and collaboration are building a prosperous future for our regions and for all Europe. Thank you for allowing me to present the Valencian community here in this magnificent event, in this transformative dialogue, and for the opportunity to contribute to our shared European vision. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So my special thanks goes to Martina Fumagalli and Teodora that makes this possible. So I left again the voice to you. Thank you, Teodora. Very kind. Thank you, Martina.
I would also like to thank to all speakers and attendees for being with us during the last 2 days, moderators, those who have been presenting yesterday in the pitching session and for the startups today as well, and really for all of you being engaged during the last 2 days. For the region of Lombardia, the colleagues from AFIL, thank you very much for your huge support and engagement of bringing this event to a huge success. As I said it, together with the colleagues from the European Cluster Collaboration Platform Consortium, we will use your engagement as a case study to other hosts how they should build and promote and activate the local actors. So thank you very much. To the entire your team, Samuel, Paul, but your entire team that have been supporting from day one. We started this collaboration, so thank you very much for this. Also, I would like to thank DigiGrow and Esmea for starting this initiative, because this is a great opportunity to learn about the regions and to the regions across Europe, to see different collaborations and also to know about clusters, to hear about clusters and those that we can be able to build new collaborations. So thank you very much. I'm speaking here on behalf of the colleagues on the ECCP that we are working jointly. Thank you, Martina, and all those that my colleagues that are not here, but also been supporting the organization of the event. I would like now, as always, to make reference what is coming next. Marek was talking, but if we, sorry. Okay, so next event, always at the end of the Cluster Meet Regions, we are start planning where is the next stop for the Cluster Meet Regions. So I all invite you to take this opportunity and put in your calendars the Cluster Meet Regions in Graz in Austria, 18th to 19th of June. During that event, there would be also a matchmaking event. So there would be also a great chance for you to meet with peers and see for opportunities for collaboration. Couple of important dates. We've been talking and we've been mentioning the European Cluster Conference. So this is the first in your list. If you haven't made your plans, still there is a chance to register. And I've also updated a bit the list which I presented yesterday about the next Cluster Meet Regions events that we know, as well as those that are having a matchmaking part. So we are having EU-Taiwan matchmaking event in Berlin, 10 to 12th of June. This call has been open, so please have a look at the European Cluster Collaboration Platform, and if this is falling into your industry sector, it's a great chance to meet with Taiwanese partners. Then we are having also on the same week EU-SouthMed matchmaking event in Frankfurt. So again, please have a look. This is the call has been open. So if this is falling into the thematic focus, it will be in the frame of the big event ACHEMA. So please have a look. And then we have Cluster Meet Regions in Portugal in September. This is something that it was missed yesterday. Also I've corrected the dates for the Cluster Meet Regions and the matchmaking event taking place in Palma de Mallorca. There was a mistake yesterday, so this is in October. And then we are going to Germany, 18th to 19th of November. Then we are going to Belgium. So there are a lot of things we are planning till the end of the year. There are cluster talks, and there is much more. So thank you very much again. It was a real pleasure and honor for me to be moderating and supporting this event. Thank you.